Well, if you're like me, in this point of the pandemic, you're standing out in the field in the middle of nowhere with your banjo on, wondering what the heck is actually happening in the world. I fell off of my pull-up bar. Actually, the pull-up bar fell on top of me this week, and I busted my forehead open and my back. And I still lugged all my stuff out here to do this video shoot today because I think that people like it better when I shoot these videos outside rather than in my boring, dark apartment. So that's where I'm at with this pandemic thing. Whether I know what's going on or not, that's what's happening with me, and the show must go on. When this pandemic started, I had this great idea to start a podcast because I thought it would keep me in touch with all my fans and make new fans throughout the world. I'm not so sure that's really what's happening, but the show is going to keep going on. Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Fast Heart Mart co-video podcast. I am your host, Fast Heart Mart. If you want to know why I'm called Fast Heart Mart, just look it up. So yeah, this podcast has been somewhat successful, I guess. I don't know. I'm not even sure. This is episode 19. This is month 7 of the pandemic. I'm not sure how this podcast is going. I'm having fun most of the time. It is a lot of work. This podcast is brought to you by all the people who've been supporting it through Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, buying merch on fastheartmart.com. All the bugs that are getting in my mouth right now. I appreciate everybody supporting this podcast. And I don't know. I guess I'm just going to say on this episode that if you're feeling exhausted and run down, that you're not alone. This is a psychological war on all of us, whether it's meant to be a war or not. It is. Let's just keep on going. I think I'm still hopeful that this is all leading us to a better place. We're really out of balance, and we're finding balance again, and it's really dark and tumultuous at times, but that's sometimes what you have to go through to find balance. And I'm going to be performing an old song of mine called Limbo. I've been in the music industry for 20 years now. As a somewhat of a professional musician, I'm currently a full-time musician. And this is a favorite song of mine for a lot of my fans. I think people still like this song, even though I used to do it on guitar. I'm playing mostly on the banjo these days because I can make more money playing the banjo than I could playing a guitar. There's more of a niche for me to play the banjo. And maybe that's really not cool to admit that, but I was having a hard time making a living playing the guitar out here in Southern California, and I think also the world has sort of changed. There's a lot of guitar players. There's not as many banjo players, even though there's more banjo players happening all the time, which is good too. So I've adapted this old song of mine called Limbo for the banjo, and I hope you like it. Limbo is a song that I wrote about dropping out of society, which is an idea I've had for a long time now. I'm not sure how to do it, except for maybe getting on a boat and sailing away. Maybe I'm just not ready for that. But that's what this song is about. It's about getting on a boat and sailing away to an island, being with a person that you love. And there is a line in here in this song that says, "No cops, no laws." And I want to make it clear, I'm not anti-cop, even though I think that the cops, there definitely needs to be a better checks and balances systems with the police, getting the bad cops out of there. I'm not anti-cops. This song is kind of based on that song, Big Rock Candy Mountain, where the hobo says all the cops have wooden legs, and you can bust right out of the jail because it's made out of tin. Those kind of things. It's just whimsical thinking. It's kind of fun. It's a game of cat and mouse. It's not really. It's not being mean and hateful towards cops. It's just being like, hey, maybe one day we'll be in a place as a human race where we don't need police. We can all take care of ourselves. We're definitely not there yet, and I would really, really be upset if we tried to be there anytime soon. But That's what this is alluding to, is a song called Limbo. And again, saying all this about the song, I hope I'm not ruining it for anybody out there. I hope this whole podcast hasn't ruined my music for anybody out there. This whole thing has been a challenge. I thought it would just be a fun way to stay in touch with people during these times when I started this podcast. Then things got really political with this pandemic, and we were being forced to take sides a lot of times. I still refuse to take a side. I still want to hear what people have to think about everything. I want to hear people's thoughts. And so I'm being very challenged with this podcast. I'm constantly thinking I'm going to just quit because I'm making more enemies than I am fans. I hope I'm not alienating people. But I encourage you to do the same. If there's something out there in the world that you're doing and you're questioning yourself, just keep going. I think we just have to keep going. These are the times that challenge us. And one day, hopefully, we'll look back and say, man, I'm glad I kept going through that, because I could just throw this banjo in the trash and all my music equipment and all my songs and try to go to work at 7-Eleven or something like that. But and not that there's anything wrong with working at 7-Eleven. If that's your thing, that's fine. And I think it's great that people do. And I've definitely done many odd jobs myself. But I am really stoked to be a full-time musician, and I want to keep doing this. And this podcast is a way for me to do it. So here we go. This song is called Limbo. Except for these gnats. Alright, because that was the song for the day. It was called Limbo from way back. It used to be a guitar song. Now it is a banjo song. I still play the guitar, but I just, you got to simplify your life, people. You got to focus on, sometimes you just got to focus. For somebody like me especially, just playing one instrument is enough. Banjo, guitar, drums, bass. I got to focus on one of those and master it. Okay, here's the joke for the day. What is the difference between the coronavirus and yogurt? Yogurt has live and active cultures. Because, viruses, we don't even know if they're alive or not. We can't decide if they are. Okay, that's the joke for the day. I'm phasing out the gardening tips. People, I don't think anybody wants gardening tips from me because I'm not a gardener. So that part of the show is out. I'm not doing that anymore. Man, these gnats are everywhere. And then I'm having deja vu. I'm having a serious case of deja vu out here. And so I'm going to shut this thing down before it gets too weird. But thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And thank you so much for donating and subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking this video and sharing this video. I appreciate it. And listen to Fast Heart Mart on Spotify and all your favorite sites until the next episode. And even after that, peace and health, everybody. See you next time. Adios.